A mother reconnects with her larger-than-life playboy father on a venture through New York. Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot here today to share with you all my spoiler-free review for the new Apple TV Plus A24 original film, On the Rocks. Very excited to let you all know what I thought about this comedy drama and if it's worth checking out in this review. Before we dive into it, as you can see on the screen now, make sure you're following me on all my other social media accounts. That way you can stay up to date on what's going on over here at Movie Files. If you are new to this channel, Movie Files, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new movie reviews, TV reviews, live streams, and all the fun things we do on this channel. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Helps out the channel tremendously, but I also really appreciate it. And in the comments, let's discuss this film. Let's talk about your pros, your cons, and what are some of your favorite Bill Murray performances. Let's talk about it in the comments, guys. So this is my third Apple TV Plus original film that I've seen this year, and they've only had like 4 or 5 of them. But the two that I previously saw was The Banker that came out earlier this year, which I reviewed on this channel, as well as Greyhound. And then if you've been part of this community for a while, you know that I've covered about 90% of the TV show. So I'm a fan of the platform. I love A24. I love this cast. I love this director. So I was pretty much sold on this film. So let's talk about the positives here, starting off with the selling point. You have Regina Jones, who I'm a big fan of. We know Bill Murray is an icon in himself, so their chemistry is what sold this film. They are the best parts. They are the heart and soul of this film, and watching that journey was just really enjoyable and really entertaining. You know, I'm a sucker for these type of films when it comes to seeing a parent rediscovering their relationship with their kid and seeing how now their dynamic changes when the kid is no longer a kid and they have their own kids and their own family, and just seeing that dynamic between that two in this film was really entertaining for me personally. So transitioning into Regina Jones as Laura, a mother of 2, approaching 40 years old. She's married, and she's also attempting to write a book. And in doing so, she realizes that she's lost herself, right? And I think we can all relate to that at some point in our lives, whether we're in our 20s, our 40s, or whatever age. Whenever you let someone into your life, you kind of lose a bit of yourself because you have to readjust your lifestyle, not change yourself as a person, but you're having someone else's lifestyle, their beliefs, their family come into your family. So it is a bit of rediscovery, and I kind of like that comparison. I kind of like that, relatability of that character. Again, I don't have kids. I have a dog who I consider a kid, but we can all kind of relate to, again, getting into a new relationship or being in a long relationship. You kind of have to rediscover what makes that relationship special, what makes you special in a relationship, but also realizing who you are as a person. And I really enjoyed that aspect of Regina Jones' character, Laura. Now, as all this is happening of her rediscovering herself, she becomes suspicious of her husband, Dean, played by Marlon Wayans, is potentially cheating on her, and that's where the great Bill Murray comes into the mix as Felix. He is this bigger-than-life father who wants to help his baby girl see is all this true, and that's where really the film kind of takes off to me, is when Bill Murray kind of gets injected in the story. And again, he is this playboy character. He has had a many lives. He has the women that he's been with. He travels overseas, and in doing all that, he's kind of lost a little bit of his relationship with Regina King, and he's trying to kind of restart that relationship by helping his daughter out, seeing if his daughter's husband is cheating on her. And again, it's just seeing that dynamic was really entertaining throughout the first half of this film. Now, the thing I really enjoyed about the Laura character is when it comes to her and her father's relationship with Felix, it is a very interesting relationship, right? And her father, Felix, has a very interesting lifestyle. He has a very interesting point of life, especially when it comes to women. And you see that she loves her dad, right? But she also knows that he has his own personal problems. She has some, confrontation with him about his lifestyle, and she's kept that inside. And you get that sense from Regina Jones' character that she does not like confrontation. So she has this kind of inner kind of demons that she wants to face with her dad, with her husband, but she's a person that doesn't like to confrontate and have confrontations, and I can relate to that because I hate arguing with the people I love. Now, what was really interesting to see on screen is Laura's relationship with her father, as she's kind of thinking in her head that she's losing her family and losing her husband. In some kind of weird way, she's gaining that relationship back with her father, and I kind of like that dynamic on the screen as well. Now, let's talk about Felix, Bill Murray's character. He really stole the movie for me, even with his opposing views on women, and I felt like he was, very misogynistic in a way, but he was also very charming in this film. He can talk his way out of a ticket. He can talk his way out of an issue. I really enjoyed his charismatic attitude in this film, and again, he's living his best life with no regrets, and also, this is kind kind of his way of loving his daughter. Is a very immature way at times within this film, but you can see in his own kind of way that he loves his daughter and wants to kind of regain that relationship that he kind of lost due to the lifestyle that he lives. Now, another thing that stood out to me that are kind of, it falls both in the positives and negatives, is the actual relationship between Laura and Dean. I felt that distance between the two on screen, and as an audience member, you felt that awkward tension between the two, but also I'll mention that a little bit later as far as my negatives, but I thought that the film really did convey that this husband and wife that at one point in time was absolutely loving each other, but once they had kids, things got a little bit different. He got a little bit more busy at work, and I thought the film really kind of conveyed that awkward and that tension between the two couples. And then again, kind of wrapping up my positives, the film to me was at its finest and it was most entertaining. The comedy and drama really worked within that second half, and that's when you see Felix and Laura really on this journey to see if Dean is cheating on her. I thought that's when the film had the most personality. And also, lastly, I think the film does a really solid job of highlighting the important conversation and highlighting the important thing of communication is key in any relationship in your life. If you don't communicate with your partner, your best friend, your brother, your sister, your neighbor, whoever's in your life, things can fall apart. So I like the film's message of conveying how important communication is. Now, transitioning into my criticisms with the film, I enjoyed the characters, the comedy, the drama approach of the story, but I found that first 20-25 minutes to be quite boring, if I'm being honest, as you see kind of this day in, a day of life that Laura has, taking her kids to school, having a conversation with Jenny Slate's character, and you see her normal routine. It became very repetitive and kind of dull at points, I'm not going to lie. I found that first half to be a little inconsistent. And like I mentioned before, the film to me really doesn't pick up its personality and its spunk in its life until Bill Murray comes to the film. So prior to that, again, like I said, it felt repetitive, it felt a little dull, but it wasn't until Bill Murray's character, Felix, injected some life into the film. Now, when it comes to Regina Jones, again, I'm a big fan of her work, and I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to her character, Laura, when she wasn't on screen with Bill Murray, Felix, I found her character to be a little generic. Now, it kind of plays into the plot of the story that she kind of feels boring, she kind of feels uninteresting, but at the same time, I just found her character to be somewhat very underwhelming. And again, going back to my conversation I had about my positives and negatives about Dean and Laura, I found that, again, their relationship, it was part of the plot for them, for the audience to feel like there's tension, that they don't really seem to have that same relationship that they had at the beginning. But even when things kind of shifted, I never really felt the chemistry between Marlon Wayans and, Regina Jones. I just felt like they just were a bit off for some reason. And then my last criticism here, the film does clock in an hour and a half, but I'm not going to lie, there were a lot of times this film kind of dragged, and it was throughout the different acts, the first act, second act, and third act, and it felt like a 2-hour movie. And again, I was entertained for the most part, especially in that second half, but this film does drag a lot of the times throughout this film. Now, last criticism here, I'm a big fan of Sofia Coppola. I love 2003's Lost in Translation, which happened to star Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson, but I really didn't feel her direction within this film. I felt like a lot of her shots, a lot of the pacing of the film just didn't have that energy, didn't have that punch that she offers in a lot of her other films. So I feel like her direction really didn't stand out to me in this movie. Now, overall thoughts, final score before I get into it, make sure to like this video, share this video, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell so you don't miss any of my other videos. Final thoughts, closing out this review. Now, final thoughts of this film. Felix always saw his daughter Laura as a little girl, but he realizes that she is now a woman, has her own family, and seeing that father and daughter dynamic throughout the film was really entertaining and really, to me, the best parts of the film. And even though it has some of its shortcomings, I really kind of enjoyed this film at the end of the day, so I'm giving this film On the Rocks a 3 out of 5. Now, let me know your thoughts on this film once you've seen it, your pros, your cons. What moments did you find to be a little dull? Did you enjoy it in its entirety? Let's have a discussion about that in the comments. And again, let me know your favorite Bill Murray performance as well as your favorite film, and let's discuss it in the comments. Thank you guys for watching this review. Hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.